Hey, Bubs. Hey, you guys. For those of you that listen to Dad Meat podcast, a lot of you are aware of like me talking about like my struggles with alcohol and drug addiction. And I wanted to make a video that goes more in depth in regards to my background and what I've experienced, what I've struggled with, and also what I've been able to learn to help me move past those issues to get to a point now where I am now, where I really like myself and I really like the direction where I'm headed in life, and I have a ton of good people behind me, and I just really enjoy my life now, and that wasn't always the case. So about 3 years ago, I had a fucking world class bender, just went out with a bang, and I just knew that it was time for me to make a really honest effort to kind of get my shit together. Not just for me, but I got a wife and 3 kids, and I didn't want them to continue to have to fucking see me just being a fuck up constantly. And I wanted them to see me in a positive light. And at the time, I didn't know that I wanted to see myself in a positive light. I didn't want my family to continue to be subjected to my bullshit. So after that bender, I decided to that I was going to do what it took to get my shit together. And through a lot of hard work and through a lot of luck and through meeting a lot of great people and a lot of people being very generous with their time and just being kind and compassionate towards me. Um, this past April, I hit 3 years sober, which was a huge milestone for me, for a lot of different reasons. But one, because I finally got to a point where I don't feel like my life is just dominated by the desire to fucking get fucked up, where for the longest time that was. So I wanted to make this video to share with you guys some of the things that were helpful for me, because I know through a lot of the people that are with us with Dad Meat send us messages sharing some really personal shit, in regards to struggles with alcohol and struggles with pills and struggles with fucking heroin, struggles with coke, just all that shit. And I wanted to share with you guys what was helpful for me in the hopes that it'll add value to your life and hopefully help you out of whatever it is that you're going through right now. Because I think that's one of the biggest roadblocks to getting sober, or if you're not sober, just getting past whatever it is that's fucking you up. Is just the loneliness that comes with addiction and the loneliness that comes with alcoholism. When you can get past that and finally get somebody that's willing to listen to you and to give you honest feedback in regards to what you're up against, and just fucking listen to what you're going through. I think that's going to mark a huge milestone and going to be a big aid to you getting to where you want to go. So, yeah, man, for the longest time, I was a huge fuck up. I realized after being sober for a while that so much of what I did with alcohol and drugs just stemmed from wanting to get people to like me. It was just whatever you needed me to be, that's what I would be. And it was easy to be anything people needed of me if I was fucked up. And that never occurred to me while I was doing that shit, while I was doing all the shit I was doing, just running around, just fucking hanging out with my boys, just doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I just thought I just wanted to have fun. Very rarely did it occur to me that there might be an issue with what I was doing. But, it wasn't until I started to make an honest effort at sobriety that I started to reveal the depths of just how fucked I was and the shit that kind of drove me to keep doing the fucked up shit that I was doing that was just leading me nowhere. So, um, I really don't I don't think that like anybody that just sets out to fucking do this shit. It's just like nobody sets out to fucking become an alcoholic or a drug addict. A lot of times it's just something just super deep seated or something super traumatic that happens to you, um, that really propels that behavior forward. And um, if just right off the bat, the one thing that pops in my head that I can share is that like there can come a point where you don't have to feel that fucked up, and you don't have to feel as though the deficiencies or the traumas or whatever the fuck drives you to do that shit has to continuously be a problem in your life, and that you can move past it and move on to better shit and actually start living your life and not just reacting to it and not just reaching for that fucking pacifier the second shit gets difficult for you. Um so first and foremost, I want anybody who's struggling with that shit right now to realize that you are more fucking powerful than you could ever imagine. One of the most fucked up aspects of addiction and alcoholism is that, you just feel so weak and you feel so defeated all the time and you feel as though there's never going to be an end to any of this shit. And part of that, I don't think is, our fault, but a part of that is because you get to a point where you start throwing fucking pity parties for yourself. And then you devalue yourself and you don't know that you should fucking, have higher standards for yourself. Or even if you do, you don't give a fuck. You're dick deep in addiction at that point. But above all else, know that you are more fucking powerful than you can ever imagine, and that it is entirely up to you whether or not you want to fucking change your life. I am an absolute fucking fat, retarded, gay idiot. But if I can get my shit together, anybody can fucking do it. Um, I think one thing that hangs people up is you hear these things, which these definitions of what might make you an alcoholic or an addict. It's just like, all right, if you have fucking more than 4 drinks in a week, you're a fucking alcoholic. It's just like, well, I don't really have that, and it's just, oh, I might do this, I might do that, but it's like, I think it boils down to, is what you're doing fucking up your life, or is it fucking up anybody else's life? If no, then you probably don't have a problem. If it is, then you really need to fucking figure some shit out. And although in a lot of cases, people don't even know where to start. For me, I went to AA right off the bat, um, when I really tried to get my shit together. And I don't really go now. I feel like I got what I needed out of that. And I didn't really feel the effects that I had felt later on that I felt first off. So I felt comfortable leaving. I'm not opposed to going back for like a meeting or so every now and again. That's cool. But especially right off the bat, it was super helpful for me because one of the greatest components to just creating a better version of yourself and just getting as far away from the fucked up shit that you were engaging in before is finding a new structure for which you to unfuck yourself and get to a point where you could figure shit out and have enough of a support system to guide you and support and really lift you up as you sift through the ashes and try and figure out, all right, let me fucking get through all this fucking bullshit to figure out what is butt fucking me here. And for me, AA did that. I'll go to NA meetings sometimes too. They got a little too wild for me. One time I saw a pregnant lady yelling at a fucking NA meeting and it kind of scared me, so I left. But AA is a little more tame. And I got a lot out of that. I know a lot of people get hung up on a lot of the fucking semantics, like it's a disease or you are powerless. Like, you don't have to like buy into that shit. With any route that you choose to go, take what fits for you and just fucking leave the rest. And anybody's that's going to try to convince you to buy into any kind of like dogma or any fucking rigid structure, just fucking leave that shit alone. But I think AA could be a good starting point, or NA could be a good starting point, because it gives you the framework and there's enough people there to show you that, like, no matter how fucked up shit is, you can climb out of it and reinvent yourself. Um, it doesn't work for everybody long term, but it's a really good starting point because it's free, it's highly accessible, and there's a lot of good people there. Um, when you get to a point where you feel like you fucking hit rock bottom, you don't know what to do. Um, Start with finding some kind of support. Either through AA or an online group, or just fucking get busy, just diving dick deep into fucking addiction and what fucking causes that shit. And once you start to find these things and these little things start to add up, these little stepping stones for you to use to build yourself back up. One thing's going to lead to another, and you're going to gradually crawl out of it. Mentally, one of the big things for me was acknowledging what I was feeling without judgment. As a fucking, you know, somebody who thinks of himself as a man's man, it was definitely hard for me to feel as though, like, to admit that I was feeling sad, or admit that I was feeling depressed, or admit that I was feeling scared, or admit that I was feeling anxious. But so much of that comes up when you don't have these crutches in your life that you had before, and for a lot of us, it's alcohol and drugs. So you really have to prepare yourself to be open and honest, one, with yourself, and two, if you could find somebody to help you with that, awesome. Eventually, I think you should find somebody to help you with that, but at the very least, get open and honest with yourself. And one of the things that I felt was important with with establishing with dad meat was that people could have that no matter what it is, no matter what it was that was fucking them up, is that you could feel as though, you can message Tim or I, and just say like, look, this is really fucking me up. And just know that if you ever do message us with something that's, really, really a sensitive topic and is close to you that you don't want shared with anybody else, the message will always stay between you and us. So just know at the very least you have us to reach out to. Um, so you have to acknowledge what you're feeling without judgment, because you're going to feel, you're going to feel like, all right, the second I start to feel like, okay, vulnerable, whether it's feeling sad, scared, or depressed, you're going to be, all right, this is fucking gay. I'm going to stop. You have to go through that shit in order to unfuck yourself. You have to admit that, like, okay, I'm feeling this. And it's super helpful to write it down. Um, when you write out specifically what's fucking you up, you could start to look at it from um, less of an emotion-based standpoint and more of just an analytical standpoint. Like, okay, why am I feeling scared? Okay, it's going to take a lot more fucking writing and soul searching, but you have nothing but time, so just fucking get busy doing this shit. Write down exactly what you're feeling at any given time. Start with fucking 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes, whatever it is, whatever you have time for. The more that you get this shit out, the more you're going to get closer to the root of all the shit that's fucking you up. Take the time to do that and start accepting what you're feeling, rather than, you don't have to be reactionary to everything you're feeling, because I know for a lot of fucking people that have these addiction issues, we tend to just be reactionary. The second we feel something, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to the bar, or I'm going to fucking get fucked up in some fucking dickhead high school friend's basement. you know you got to get away from those crutches, and when you get away from those crutches, you start to fucking figure out what's really causing the problems within you that are telling you that it's okay to continuously do this behavior that is just fucking you and everybody around you up. So get comfortable with just experiencing these emotions. Like, observe these emotions in yourself without being judgmental and just being, all right, that's fucking gay, that's fucking stupid. I don't know. You're human. You should feel sad sometimes. You know, Analyze why you're feeling sad. Sometimes it's just, it'll come and it'll go. But in a lot of our cases, it's like, if it's persistent, you got to figure out what it is that's fucking you up. Acknowledge that shit. Don't fucking let it sit. Like, really fucking write out every fucking thing that's bothering you. If it's something as severe as like a fucking childhood trauma, write that shit out. If it's something that seems as trivial as just your fucking boss smells like fucking ass, write that shit out. Write down, even though if you don't have to tell them in person, write down change your pants, motherfucker. Like, stop wearing fucking shitty khakis to work. You really have to get all this shit out so that it doesn't end up snowballing and manifesting in a really unhealthy way later. Um, like I said, like, don't let if you get into a program or find something that you like, don't let semantics like trip you up and just fucking make you hit the fucking eject button on that program. Just because I know with AA, I had a really tough time with one of the steps where it involved admitting powerlessness over alcohol. Because like I said, like, I just feel like each of us is more powerful than we could ever imagine. And it's just, that didn't sit right. I think, somebody explained it to me in a way where it made sense to, to put me at ease with it. And that, once I drink, then I'm powerless. It's like, all right, I can kind of get with that. But overall, it's just like, you're not powerless. Like, you ultimately control this decision whether or not to put these substances in your body. So just know that, like, you are fucking powerful. Fucking act like it. Like, you have total control over whether or not you pick this shit up and put it in your body, whatever the fuck it is. So fucking burn that into your fucking memory. You are in fucking power here. Like, you have total control over this shit. Also, when you first decide to give this shit up, like, you're gonna have fucking cravings nonstop. Just know that shit's perfectly normal, and eventually it will subside. I remember when I first got sober, like, I was literally salivating for fucking beer before everything, during, after everything. It's all I fucking wanted. And that was one of the most difficult hurdles to get over, because everything that I had done from like the age of fucking 16 to my fucking mid 30s involved me drinking, whether it was a fucking tailgating. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get fucked up. If it's a fucking baptism, like, I have ruined fucking baptisms with getting fucked up. I have drank 2 pints of piss at one of my kids' baptisms. All right. We didn't have my son baptized just because I put on that much of a show at the second baptism. You know, don't drink piss. All right. This is how fucked up shit gets. It's like you will end up drinking your own piss at some point if you don't get control of this shit. So, um, but yeah, going back to like, know that the feelings of wanting to drink are going to get fucked up. They're going to be there, and they're going to be there a fucking lot too. And it's just a conscious decision day after day saying, when I get up today, I'm not doing this shit. You just, whatever it takes to fucking get you to not do that shit, do that shit. Don't do that shit. All right. Don't do drugs. All right. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. I might have just told you the opposite, but just don't do that shit. Whatever the fuck it takes, just don't do it. Um, and that's another case where having a support system helps. So if you can find that structure, cool. At the very least, like, know that you can fucking communicate with me, and I will always get back to you, and I will always talk to you. And I can offer my perspective and what I've dealt with in regards to just hopefully helping you through whatever it is that you're dealing with. Just to get you through that day, and then you'll get into the next, and the days start to fucking add up. And when the days start to add up and you're building new behaviors, the shit does get easier. I would say it took me over a fucking year sober before I started to get to a point where I wasn't constantly thinking about drugs and alcohol. It's fucking exhausting, man. It's not just the act of doing it. It's just like fucking thinking about it. And then it's like you get this thing in your head where it's like, oh, why can't I do this? And you start scheming like, all right, if I do this, I'm going to be really good. I promise I'll be good. But, for me, that was never the case. I just knew that I had to just fucking toe the line. Nothing for me. I just had to fucking do it. So whatever it takes to get you fucking through is what you got to do. And just know the cravings are going to come and go. And it might take a pretty long time for them to go away, but they get fewer and farther between. Um, I'm over 3 years sober now, and I still get them occasionally, especially like when the warm weather hits. It's just like I'll start thinking about beer, and it's like, God damn, that shit tasted so good, and it did taste good, but it's like it fucked my life up. So I'm able to now analyze it from a rational perspective and say that, like, I know that if I start up again, it's just I know where I'm going to end up. So it's like, yeah, it was fun for a while, and beer does taste fucking great, but it's not something I could take part in anymore. Um, a big thing that I think is really worth mentioning is that you have to start valuing your time and who you spend your time with. I definitely recommend when you get serious about getting sober and just giving all this shit up, delete every fucking number in your phone of somebody who is just going to get you in trouble again. There's so many people that were a ton of fun to fucking party with, but they weren't fucking good for me, and I had to fucking cut them out. And some people will piss and moan that you're not out fucking partying again, but it's just tough shit. You quickly realize who is with you and who's against you when you let them know that, like, yeah, I'm trying to give that shit up, man. Just it's not for me. People that are truly with you will say, like, all right, I can respect that, and let me know what I can do to help you. But the people that just want to fucking love your miserable company will fucking motherfuck you up and down and try to every fucking trick in the book to get you to fuck up and get you back on the same miserable path that they're on. But don't fall for that shit. Just fucking block their whatever the fuck you have to do to get away from those motherfuckers, get away from them. And the more that you start to value your time and just do shit that acts in accordance with that value of that time, you're going to get further and further away from this shit that's fucking you up. Um, I mean, it really makes a big difference in your life when you start thinking about what you're choosing to do with your time. Because I think when you're fucked up on drinking and fucking drugs, it's like you just think time's going to go on forever. And it doesn't matter how many times you see people get fucked up on the shit or how many times you see people die. Um, I think we all think that at some point it's just like we just have limitless amounts of time. But when you start to value your time, you start to recognize the importance of it and the impermanence of it all. And it really makes you think, like, okay, uh, when I wake up, this is what the fuck I need to do with my day because it's going to go by quick. And it does. And another aspect of just having your shit together and leaving all the shit in the past is like you get to wake up. You don't just fucking come to. Like there's so many times where I remember just waking up on the fucking floor, fucking vomit everywhere, praying to God nobody else is up, praying to God that I have enough time to fucking clean up the throw up before my fucking wife or kids get up. and just, just starting the day in a fucking panic covered in vomit just because I got fucked up the night before. That's one of the fucking gifts in really pursuing this fucking path of righteousness, is that you get to fucking wake up. You don't have to fucking clean vomit up unless you're fucking, I don't know, unless you fucking ate a pizza before you went to bed and your fucking acid reflux is acting up. But it's like, otherwise, you're going to be cool. It's nice to be able to fucking wake up and enjoy fucking mornings. It's like, I used to fucking hate birds when I was fucking doing coke, man. Those motherfuckers, like, those would always signify the start of the ending. Like, up until those motherfuckers started chirping, it was always like, man, I am the fucking man. I am having the time of my life. But as soon as those fucking birds started chirping, fuck, man, that's when the panic set in. That's when the dread set in. That's when the depression set in. Fucking turned my phone off because I knew my wife had called a fucking 1,000 times, and it's just like those fucking birds were my fucking worst enemy. But now it's nice to fucking hear them, and it's all because I don't fucking engage in any of that shit anymore, man. Um, Cut out those motherfuckers that aren't doing shit for you. Cut out the motherfuckers that trip you up and that want to see the worst for you. And it's like, even though they might be fun to hang out with, but you have to focus on yourself when you make an honest effort to get sober. Um, I recommend finding a physical activity to help fill your time. For me, I got really lucky. I found jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, within a couple months of getting sober, and it was awesome for me. I loved it right off the bat. I definitely recommend that and cannot recommend it enough, because it's something that you could obsess over, and it's a healthy obsession, because it's going to be the hardest fucking thing in the world, and then you're gradually going to see yourself getting better. And you don't want to be the weak link out there. So you're going to want to train more. You're going to want to train harder. You're going to want to watch more videos, which will leave you less time to idle time to get fucked up or to think about getting fucked up. You're going to be around a predominantly more healthier group of people. Um, you're going to have the camaraderie that you might be missing out on by going to bars and shit like that if you engage in like jujitsu or something like that. So definitely find a physical activity, and if you can, find one that also offers a socialization aspect to it to make up for what you're missing. Because I think something that throws a lot of people off when they try to get sober is they don't replace their old fucked up behaviors with new healthy behaviors. So just try things. It's like, and don't get frustrated if like you can't find something that works for you, and just know that that's part of this process. And that's what it is. And that's what you have to hammer home constantly to yourself, is that this is all a process. You are figuring yourself out. You are unfucking yourself. You have to be patient with yourself. Like, you really have to start treating yourself the way that you would treat the person that you love the most. You have to treat yourself with the utmost kindness, compassion, respect, and love. One, because you deserve it, and two, because you have to in order to get better. Like, to get to be a person that you can look in the mirror and respect and be somebody that can be dependable to other people. You have to really be selfish to a degree and focus on yourself, and not just focus on yourself in a unhealthy way, but just really just be kind to yourself. Do shit that's good for yourself. Take time to treat yourself to things. Go to the movies by yourself. Fucking get massages. Get jerked off at the massages. Whatever it takes for you to enjoy yourself in a healthy way, fucking do that shit. You have to start treating yourself the way that you would treat the people that you care about the most. Um, take the time to write out what you want out of life. For those of you that listen to the podcast, like Tim and I are really big on programming, and we got introduced to that shit late last year, and it's been a game changer for the both of us. And what that involves is basically just really thinking about what you want out of life and breaking it down into smaller, achievable goals. And take the time to figure out what it is that you want. As an addict or an alcoholic, yeah, you're going to want to get fucked up, but that's not in your best interest. So think about, like, all right, in my ideal version of myself, what the fuck would I want to do? And it's like, whatever the fuck it is, it's like you're going to be surprised at some of the shit that pops up, some of the fucking weird shit that pops up. You might want to go fucking windsurfing, or go fucking swim with dolphins, or just fucking be weird. Go fucking swim with dolphins. Like, who fucking knows what'll happen, man? Um, just take the time to write down all the weird shit that you couldn't do and didn't do when you were fucked up. because that's a big part of what's going to make life interesting for you. And you deserve to have that, because we're all on fucking borrowed time. It's all running out quickly, man. And it's really, make the most of your relationships, make the most of the time you spend with people, make the most of the shit you spend your time doing. Just enjoy your life. You know, don't worry about any of the shit that fucked you up before. Just, as you get further and further, into getting away from that shit and just being sober, and it's just leaving that shit in the past, like, life will become more enjoyable. I was the most miserable motherfucker on earth. I hated fucking waking up every day. I hated fucking pretty much everything that I did. And through unraveling all this fucking shit in the past 3 years, like, I wake up now and I genuinely enjoy being able to wake up and approach my day, and I interact with the people I want to interact with. I do the shit I want to do, and I really just enjoy life. And I promise you that that's a fucking possibility if you just leave all that bullshit in the past. Um, but yeah, write all that shit out, and just, keep fucking visual reminders around you. Like, I like these pictures behind me. Like, this is something my wife made of, it's just a painting of her and I laying together. I love my wife. I love having it next to me because it reminds me of her. This picture behind me, it's from a Deftones video. I really love the Deftones. It reminds me of them, so I like having this picture in my house. This picture over here, it's of Griffith Observatory in LA. It's my favorite place. It means a lot to me to have this shit in my home, to be able to look at, just to make me feel good. And this is all shit that, like, I get to have by not engaging in the bullshit that fucked me up before. Like, I have my wife now because, I'm doing all the right things. I can fucking, go to Deftones concerts, because I'm fucking sober. If not, it's just like, I'm not gonna have fucking money for tickets and be able to do shit like that. I can afford to go to LA, just because I'm not blowing it on fucking coke. Um, have visual reminders of shit that genuinely makes you happy around you, to help keep you on the straight and narrow, and just remind you of, what it is that, you want to do with your time, because your time is just more valuable than anything else. Know that this is not going to be easy, especially roughly the first fucking year, because you're going to go through things. It's like, when you start to recognize some of the really fucked up shit that's been fucking you up all these years, you're going to want to run back to the shit that you used to run to before, to kind of mask the pain and just forget about that shit. But it's important that you face it fucking head on. I can't hammer home enough that you have to tell yourself that you are more powerful than you could ever fucking imagine. And it's not just fucking wishful thinking, because you are. Like, I am a fat fucking idiot. All right. If I can fucking do this shit, I promise you that anybody can. Like, I feel like a fucking, like, Kim Jong Un sitting in this fucking chair right now. And I'm just a fat fucking idiot. I'm not a fucking North Korean dictator, but I fucking feel like it. All right. And it's just from drilling that shit into my head that I am more powerful than I could ever imagine. And that has played a big part in enabling me to have the life that I have right now, where it's just like, I love my life. And I really think that you guys could, if you're struggling with finding that enjoyment out of life, I really think you can too, if you can get this fucking shit out of the way. Because that's what it is. It's just like, a lot of the shit is just fucking unnecessary. And it's just covering up shit that we want to cover up. But, get comfortable with being uncomfortable in your first fucking year, especially, and just really just figuring out, what am I angry about? What am I sad about? What am I anxious about? Just what is playing a part in driving me to do this shit that all the time fucks me up, but I continue to fucking do it, because I guarantee you, you're gonna come up with concrete answers. And when you can start to analyze those things and start to come to resolutions on those things, or just agree to be like, you know what, there's nothing I can do with this shit. I'm just gonna move on from it. That shit is gonna go a long way in keeping you on the straight and narrow, and keeping you on the path of doing the shit that you want to do. But it's gonna be fucking hard, because, like, some fucked up shit is gonna come up. Like, when you don't have the crutch of just numbing your fucking mind with fucking substances, and you're just faced with your own fucking mind, it's going to get fucking scary. And there's going to be times where your anxiety is going to be jumping off the fucking charts. But just know you're going to get through it. Keep pushing. You're going to fucking get through it. You're going to fucking figure it out if you keep doing the work. And by doing the work, I mean, just keep thinking about, what you're doing wrong, what's fucking you up. Not what you're doing wrong, but like, what's fucked you up in the past. write that shit out and just fucking analyze it. Like, look at it, be like, all right, how can I help this person? Whereas you're helping yourself, and just think of it like, I need to, I need to figure this out for me. Again, going back to treating yourself with the utmost love, kindness, compassion, and respect, because you fucking deserve it, and you need to do that in order to move on, to get to a point where you can live a normal life. Um, but this shit's not going to be easy. Like, it's just, I would honestly say, like I said, like I hit 3 years in April. My fucking anxiety was off the fucking charts up until, I would say, recently. Like, I don't know that I'm still over it yet, but it's like I know it's fucking manageable, and I know I'm going to get past it. And it's just because, there's so much shit up here that I've yet to fucking unpack and to get to the root of. But I have enough of a sound structure in place to know that, like, I can get through this shit without relying upon something to fucking put me at ease, or fucking hype me up, or just really be a distraction, because that's what all this shit is. It's a distraction from dealing with the shit that's fucking us up. Um, just know that, like, you are going to be confronted with some fucked up shit. Um, but tell yourself again and again and again that you can handle it, and you're more fucking powerful than you can ever imagine. Um, yeah, again, especially early on, treat yourself like the person that you value the most in life, with just the utmost amount of respect, love, kindness, and compassion. Just, you have to fucking do it for yourself. You owe it to yourself. And with everything, don't beat yourself up over fucking missteps. If you fuck up, get right back on it. Just, if your kid fucks up, it's like, you're not gonna fucking scream at them for the rest of their lives for doing fucking stupid ones. It's just, allow yourself that same flexibility. You fucking deserve it. We're human. We fuck up, we make mistakes, but just, work to make the mistakes less frequent and frequent. Um, all of this shit's going to feel awkward, because you're replacing old behaviors with new ones. So all this shit is going to feel weird. You're going to feel like a fucking, like a dickhead doing a lot of this shit, but just fucking do it anyway. Like, what the fuck else do you have to do? What's the alternative? Just fucking getting fucked up in some fucking shithole? It's just like, don't, no. It's like, you don't have to do that shit. Like, feel awkward. Like, commit yourself to just feeling awkward. I promise you, it's going to be fucking worth it. Um, Another thing that it was helpful for me, and I do these most days, is something called I am affirmations. You go on YouTube, you type in I am affirmations. It's another thing that's going to feel super awkward. But for me, I always had very low self-esteem. I was always, like, very awkward, and I was never felt comfortable in my own skin. So through I am affirmations, it helped me reprogram my brain, to think that, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm worthwhile. All the fucking shit that you would feel insecure about voicing out loud, you have to get comfortable saying that shit, because you are worthy of all this shit. Like, you do deserve a nice life. Everybody, regardless of fucking what anybody's done in their life, like, you deserve to treat yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect, and everybody else around you deserves to be treated with kindness, compassion, respect, and love. So, be that for them, and be that for yourself too. Um, all in all, this shit is worth it. If anybody has any questions, hit me up, under this fucking video, or on the Dad Meat Patreon, or fucking Twitter, wherever you could find me. Like, I'll always listen to you, and just know you're not alone. You have at least one fucking person you can reach out to. You can reach out to me at any time. I'll always get back to you. And just, if this shit's fucking you up, just know it doesn't have to. Um, there's a million people that are willing to help. If you just make yourself available to the help, and above all else, like, you can fucking do this shit. Don't listen to that little voice in your head that's been fucking you up all these years. Don't listen to that motherfucker. He's a fucking loser. Don't pay any mind to that. Like, listen to that voice that you've been suppressing all this time, which wants to live a nice life, which wants to fucking do shit, which wants to have a nice family, which wants to have, like, healthy friendships, which wants to fucking, fucking pork fucking thick cheeks that belong to good people. Pork those fucking good cheeks, man. You deserve it. But just, it's worth having a nice life. So I hope some of this shit was helpful. If you have any questions, hit me up. Have any concerns, hit me up. Just whatever. Just know that if you're struggling with this shit, you have at least one person in me that will that will help you with whatever. If you just need somebody to listen to you, I'll listen to you, and it stays between you and I. Um, and just know that, again, like, you're more fucking powerful than you could ever fucking imagine. Drill it into your fucking head. All right. I love you guys. Bye.